Okay, we're going to focus on modeling our problems and using a great tool on Math Playground called Thinking Blocks. So I'll kind of show you how to get there and then we'll show you how to use it. This is going to help make your problem solving so much easier. And we could use it for multiplication, fraction, subtraction, decimals, all of that. But I'm just going to focus on addition so you get the hang of it. So if you want to find this, you can always go to our webpage as well here, and here's our web page. You could go to this link right here where it says Miss Bina's Daily Planner and Thinking Blocks 2-4. And you can click right there, or you can Google Math Playground Thinking Blocks too. But this is a shortcut way. I would just use this one. So when we go here, you're going to get the home page. And we worked on these in class, but these were the simple ways to use thinking blocks. When you want to model and kind of get into more difficult problems, we're going to use the modeling tool. So you're going to have to scroll down a little ways and then click on addition. And it will come up, as you can see, thinking blocks, model and solve word problems. And then you're going to hit start right here. And we'll have a graph paper up. And right now it's just a blank canvas. So you can model your own problems from a test or a practice that I give you, or if you just want to practice word problems, which would be great idea to do. You're going to go down here where it says problems and you're going to hit problems, and it looks like nothing happened, but it did. If you scroll up, you can see if we want to put our own problem in, we're going to hit the blue button. If we want to use their problems, we're going to hit the green button. So we'll use their problems. So now it's very important to remember part to whole. Like here's the part, here's the whole. And so we have to distinguish between those two key vocabulary words in order to understand this. So let's read the problem. Belle read 22 pages of her new book on Thursday. She had 17 pages left to read. How many pages are in Belle's book? So I always start here by clicking a thinking block and making it the whole. So resizing it to about here just so you can tell it's a little bit longer. Now I have to determine whether or not the word problem gives me the whole or the part. And in this case, Belle read 22 pages of her new book. Well, that's only part of her book. And she read that on Thursday. And she read 17 and she had 17 pages left to read. That's another part of her book. Never did they tell us the whole. So we are actually looking for the whole. So we're going to take our little ticker here and we're going to resize it by going down here and lining it up. And we're going to label this with a question mark. We don't know how many pages are in her book. So now we're going to go back and look at the parts we have. Well, Belle read 22 pages of her book on Thursday. So out of her whole book right here, which is the pages we don't know, we know that part of it is 22. So I would say 22 is, it's more than 17, so we want to make this a little bit bigger. So probably a little over half. I would say that looks good. And we want to take our scissors tool and we want to cut right along that line so we break those parts up. So here is part one, and we can take and resize that if we want to make it match exactly the part. And we can change the color of the part too. Right now it's green. If I go down here to the color tool, I can make it a different color, make it pop just a little bit more. So we know right now that that is 22. So 22 pages is what she read on Thursday. So we're going to label 22 pages. This is kind of a fun tool. I'm really addicted to it. I'm addicted to a lot of our tools, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, and it does not look like that is exactly right. There we go. So that's part one. So now we need part two. Well, we know she had 17 pages left to read. So that's another part. So I'm going to go down to my ticker tool right here, line it up here, make it nice and pretty, and resize it where it says resize blocks and phrases, line it up. And I need another label right here, and I can just click on it. And I go 17 pages left. Doesn't really matter because Now I can really see my problem pretty well. I can write equations using this. I'm going to move me. Whee! I'm going to move me over here. Hi guys. I didn't move. I'm still here. But I'm going to use my workspace. Oh, you can still see that. There we go. Much better. Okay. So when I'm looking at this now, I have to determine how am I going to get my question mark? Well, I can do a couple different equations. It looks like I'm going to take my pencil tool right now, and if I add 22 plus 17, that's going to give me my question mark. So one of my equations can be 22 plus 17, and I'm writing with my mouse pad, so it's not very pretty, equals my question mark. Bam. Okay, that's one equation. So I can actually solve that just by adding the two numbers. So let's go here. I'll do this on this work area. 22 plus 17. And 2 plus 7 is 9. Really funny 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. So I would say that the answer to this problem would be 39 pages in the book, and I can click 39. And it's really important to get into good habits to label your word problems like this one. So we have 39 pages, and I can check. But before I check, I want to go one further with you. Let's say, look back on my pencil tool. There we go. Let's say they say write the equation in two different ways. Well, we just wrote it in one way right here. That's one way we could do it. Okay, the simple way. Now we can also use inverse operations, and we can try to get other parts of this question. So remember, if you remember before I filled this in, this was the question mark. And sometimes with question marks, I call it a variable. A lot of times people use X. I don't like to use X. I like to use letters. X reminds me of multiplying, and if I'm not multiplying, it just tends to confuse me. So I'm gonna use N here as my variable. So this equation, first equation, can simply say 22 plus 17, and I can maybe, oops, 22 plus, that's a 1, 17 equals n. That's a really bad one, but remember this is n. This is because we didn't know it before. Now I can make another equation. This is equation 1. Here's equation 2. And say, okay, well, if I go n, circle that so you guys know that's the number 2, and take away 22, I should get 17. My big number away from my small number. So that's two ways to write it. But going back to how we solved for n in the first place, looking for that whole, we did solve and we did get 39. So let's just click on my pencil right here and let's just check it and see if we're right. I hope we are. Woo, we're right. That's why this is so much fun. I tell you, it's, what is it? Tuesday night. And I'm playing with math blocks in class. See, it's dark back there. It's dark. It's dark. And you're gone. See? You guys are all gone. You're probably sleeping in your beds. Yeah, I'm here playing with math blocks because it's a blast. I have so much fun doing it. So I can even check the model. If I take this and I go, view model, and look at that. That was pretty good. I didn't label it like this, pages read, pages left, but my model looks pretty much identical. So I did a pretty good job. Let's move my face. Woo! Here I go again. So that's a little bit about our math blocks. Use them, use them, use them. If you're having trouble, use them. I wish I had these when I was younger. I really do, because it would help me. Don't be afraid to use them. Again, mathplayground.com is awesome. They're called Thinking Blocks Model, or you can just go right on my website and go to 24 and click on it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's like a bonus, but not quite. So check it out. Make problem solving fun. I know it's not always the most fun to solve word problems, but it is with our thinking blocks. Again, website. Click on it. Scroll down. Modeling tool, addition. Look at all we're going to do this year. Multiplication, fractions, decimal ratios, percent. We'll just start with addition. And we get our thinking blocks. I wish there was a light bulb over my head I could put over my head. Simple, fun, math.